friends, and welcome to Dice Function Discussion, the official Dice Functional podcast where a bunch of friends sit around and discuss their D&D game and other topics. Yeah, we're bringing that part of it back. Welcome on in, everyone. Welcome to the show. Hopefully, you guys have listened to this show before. Yeah, it's Jace here. We're gonna be doing some stuff a little bit different here with the show. Obviously, starting off a little bit different here today. But before we really get into the show, real quick housekeeping. If you are a regular listener to us here at Dice Functional, or a regular watcher, however it is that you guys found us, just a reminder that you can always tweet us questions that you have about our game, Dice Functional. Any questions that you have for the Fortune's Blade crew, you can always tweet them to us at Dice Functional with an underscore, or you can go ahead and leave a comment on YouTube on the most recent VOD, and we're going to be grabbing those questions for now every other episode thereabouts. Well, we'll be discussing, what's happening in the show. That way we get a good amount of stuff happening. That way, if you guys have questions, it isn't something that's going to be immediately answered. You can dig a little bit deeper if you need. But today we just got some friends. We're going to sit around and we're going to chat because you know what? We're all here. We've been doing this for a while, but we have a unique group of friends here. And I personally feel like introducing everyone a little bit better. So we're going to start off with an awesome crew here today. First of all, if you don't know, my name's Jace, also known as That Casual Nerd, regular Twitch streamer, also recently getting into some more YouTube content and just content in general. And yes, I am the regular announcer voice that you guys hear before episodes and the voice of Gale here on Dice Functional. With me today, I have my friends Jalli, I have Michele, and I have Jess. Now, if you don't know anything that Jalli does, Jalli, what do you do? Because you've done some cool stuff.
Uh, wait, are we talking about like personal stuff
Like
or
you're like Jalli, yeah, like personal stuff. Like you are literally you have work that has been seen by like the entire world.
um are we talking about the Overwatch stuff or
Yeah. Yeah.
oh uh yeah I've drawn uh like twice for them. One for what their second anniversary and then one for the Echo Sprays. But other than that was it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Just I have my work in a AAA video game slash esport that's known around the world. Yeah, just the regular thing, right?
It's just a thing everyone has going for them.
Yeah.
MBD.
No, I figured I'd drop that on you because no, Jalli is if Jalli is obviously our voice of the official Precious Bean, Maddie. An awesome character. But yeah, good friend, played Overwatch with for a while, and yeah, you guys can see her artwork in the actual Overwatch video game, which is pretty damn cool. So it's pretty cool. Michele, you are our resident producer, the producer of all things Dice Functional, which is
Yeah,
pretty damn cool.
yeah. Charge of the podcast. Basically, charge of all audio stuff. I also do some editing. I think we're going to be doing some other stuff. I've edited a speed paint video that went up last week, and I also edit for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my fingers are all over this goddamn thing, and you don't see it, but you definitely hear it.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Michelle's the reason that we all sound good and starting to look good too with a lot of the YouTube stuff, which is really damn cool.
I'm
So,
excited. There are some videos that are going to be coming down the pipe that I'm like really jazzed about. Some
Yeah.
highlight stuff of our video games, and we do a lot of stupid shit online, and the Twitch stuff goes away after a while, so I'd kind of like to keep some of it up forever. So we're gonna have some of that happening soon.
Makes it more entertaining. If we're all doing it anyway, might as well put it
Yep.
somewhere where even we can look back and laugh at all the ridiculous moments we have, especially in Left 4 Dead. That seems to happen a lot. And obviously Michele is the voice of Rudy, our awesome
Yes.
wizard. And then have the fellow tank, Jess, is going to school to be a teacher.
I contribute very little.
Don't know about that, but you are the other fellow tank, which actually helps me out a lot in game. So that is a huge help.
You're going to be doing Monster of the Week.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not very little. We're going to be having Monster of the Week soon, and Jess is running that, and I'm very excited because it's going to be very fun.
It'd be better if someone here would give me the fucking backstory info.
That can't be me. I've already done it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm busy. I do a lot of things.
Jace,
get
do I have to like pull out mom?
Listen.
Oh, Conor still hasn't sent me his either, so.
Yeah. It's the DMs. We have everything. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about DMs, and we'll start with this because Conor's DM. And I'm sure if you're listening to this early on, you probably don't know. I've DM'd a bunch as well, and I've done a bunch of stories. Unfortunately, not many of them online, but hopefully soon some online. We write everything out in our heads for our characters, mostly. It usually starts out in our heads because I know Conor works similar to the way I do. And then it eventually makes its way to paper. But yeah, that's what happens. Actually, to tell you the truth, that's a lot of what Gale's has been. Oh yeah, like here's enough for like you to do something with. Because yeah, most of Gale's backstory stuff, I think there's like 2 paragraphs worth, maybe. But that's about it.
My God.
Actually, I think Rudy's might have been that short too. Rudy's wasn't a lot either.
I think Mercy's was about 1,000 words. But again, I've had the character a while.
Jalli, how long was Maddie's?
I don't have a backstory for her. What are you talking about?
Perfect. See, those
Yeah,
are
I think didn't you like work out your stuff like in chat, like in a voice chat?
Oh yeah, I had like 2
That's no
friends
different.
that. So like, you know how I was chiseling? It's like usually at night at those unusual hours, I would have those chats with my friends. So just like, yeah, what do you think about this? Like, yeah, that could work, which is very weird.
Listen, I gave Conor the most barest of backstories, and then he's like, "Here, this is all yours now," and just gave me. That's what he did with you, I'm sure. You probably gave him like bare bones, and then he went, "Okay, this is what you have now."
Yeah.
He does that.
I remember hopping in the call because Jalli and I came in on the same session. So Gale and Maddie actually knew each other for like a couple weeks. We decided, I think, before Fortune's Blade, at the time unnamed, came in, essentially got him, and they joined the crew. I remember being on that call and you setting up Maddie. This was back at like level 5, I think.
Yeah, we were level 5 back then.
Yeah. I
Were
remember.
we 5 or did we just level? Because I feel like we didn't want to have Maddie immediately have reviving.
I
I mean, if
remember.
it had been 5, it would have been the same thing because 5 is where you get the reviving option. Revivify.
Yeah.
So I think we were 5, maybe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whatever it was pretty funny because I remember Jalli still being new to D&D. Her and Conor discussing spells and stuff like that, and it was cool to listen to as somebody who's done all this before and to set up characters. It was cool to listen to because like you could hear some ideas starting to come together as you were reading through some of those spells. It was pretty cool.
Campaign 2, Jalli as a tank.
Oh my God!
I mean, Jalli did get to have it a little bit when we did the others, and she was playing what turned out to be Remy. What turned out to be Remy, like essentially the character you played is a character is one of the characters that we've actually met.
Battle Jalli. Battle Jalli.
You did not want me to be tank, I swear.
There's some
Well,
parts of a tank that are actually very easy. You have
Tanking is
one thing
fun.
that you do, and you attack.
you
hit-
attack
hit
and you make sure no one else attacks your people.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It could be a lot of fun.
That's
Also,
right, 'cause
Jalli, in one of the one shots that I've run for the group, played the essentially the sniper elf.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, you were gross.
Well,
Like,
to be
one shot-
fair, I didn't have enough time to make an OC because that was during my finals week, and that's also when I have to move back home. So I'm like, oh god, I don't nothing prepared. I don't know what to do.
And I handed her a character, and she performed beautifully. It was
Yeah, you did really good at that. That was
better
fun.
than I could have asked for.
Oh my god.
It was so good. Sneak attack with a heavy crossbow. Yeah, it does a lot of damage.
Yeah, it
Um,
does.
So, kind of along that vein. So, right now, where our characters are at in this campaign, we're currently we're level 10. We're getting into some of the bigger elements of the story at this point. And I know for me, I often have a lot of characters going on in my head. And I always it's fun to think like hypothetically, like what sort of character that I would want to play. And I know we have an awesome group of friends here, and it's really, really fun to think about, okay, what kind of weird, kind of out there character I would like to play for like a longer campaign. Because it's different playing, one shot characters or having like one where you're like, I want to come up with like the weirdest possible combination, and that's where you get like your druid monks and like your weird combinations of classes, stuff like that. So if you guys were thinking though for something like longer term, what either like what kind of class, or is there like a specific D&D character race or lineage that you would want to play as? If they're like hypothetically for a potential campaign 2, what kind of character do you think you would want to play? Like, would you want to play something similar, or would you want to play something really, really different? And what do you think that you would like to play?
Well, I'll go ahead and say this. Most people in this group know I have backup characters because I don't trust Mercy not to die. Because she's a bitch. She would do that to me. She can't jump over a fucking hole. It's only a matter of time until she decides she wants to die.
You're not necessarily wrong.
But it really depends on my opinion what kind of build everyone else is looking at. Because yeah, I like tanking. Tanking for me is a lot of fun, especially because my tank build is pretty much a tank DPS, and I hate healing support. But like buff debuff support would be fine. And I know we've talked about this, Jace. One of the ones I've looked at and considered is actually Bard College of Whispers.
Mhm.
Ooh, that one's fun.
Just because a couple of the abilities are really fucking fun. Just for a quick reference, because Jalli, I know you don't know as many as the rest of us. College of Whispers are kind of like. Have you ever played Dragon Age?
Nope.
I was trying to think of a better way of doing it. Essentially, they because they're kind of like the bards are in Dragon Age, but essentially they're kind of extortionists, for lack of a better word. And their level 6 ability, if a person dies within 30 feet of you, you can capture their shadow and take on their the look and basic knowledge.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that would
There's
be a
spy
lot.
bards.
Yeah,
They're
spy
like
bards.
spy bards. Yeah.
And you still get all the benefits of like all the support spells, like speed, haste, slow. Trying to think some of the other big bard spells. Any of your counter spells, if you
In
choose to take
fairness,
those.
things like haste and slow are actually are spells you steal unless it's like given to you extra. There's spells you steal from other people.
I
Like
know,
Ace
but
does not.
I'm used to people stealing spells as a bard.
Yeah.
Let's see. Silence, Shatter, Dispel Magic, Dimension Door, Invisibility, Polymorph, those kind of spells. And of course, you've got things that are very much charisma based, so Hold Person, Calm Emotions, those kind of things. But I like that bard particularly. If I were asked to play a support, that's probably what I would play. Otherwise, I'd just play another tank, because I like being a paladin and a barbarian. They're fun. I know I don't play barbarian yet, but soon.
Soon.
My brain goes, I don't want to be the smart person again. Because it's a lot of pressure to be the smart person. Like, it's a lot of pressure to be the smart person, but again, people aren't, like, I feel like people aren't going to take the smart person position. I don't know who else in this group would be like, I'm gonna be the smart person. Maybe Becca?
Hold on. You're saying that in this group, where Jace is dying to play the smart character.
Oh, you are? I didn't know that. Oh, fuck
Mhm.
yeah. Please be the smart character next campaign. I would rather not. Listen, like, it's weird because like my brain does not work like that. Like your brain works in such a different way than mine does. And being the smart character, sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to do because like I'm smart, but like not that smart. I'm not 20 intelligence smart. I will never be 20 intelligence smart.
Yeah, I see the Matrix sometimes when it comes to this game, and I have like all of these weird ideas.
Please be the smart person next time. We need to find Gale a headband of intelligence so Gale can definitely be the smart person.
To be fair, we had one.
Yeah.
We had one.
Yeah, and it went to the person who needed it, you know?
Mori went off on a side mission for
She'll be
Avro.
back. She'll be back.
Goodbye, Headband of Knowledge, or whatever you're called.
I mean, we could maybe get one made. God, I'd love to see Gale with that. Oh, that'd be so good.
That
You'd
would-
like to. That's
That would be
dangerous.
weird.
Gale
That-
is already wise. Giving him
Yeah.
intelligence would be dangerous.
That'd be fantastic. I don't know what you're talking about.
Containing
I don't-
him.
I don't know if I don't want...
That's his SCP containment protocol. No intelligence items.
I think it would be really fun to play a trickster cleric. Because
Sorry.
I love rogues, and I love clerics, and I feel like trickster cleric is sort of the roguey cleric,
Mhm.
and I would love to do that. I think
That would be
that's
a lot.
probably what I'd go for, is like sort of someone who's sort of not jester necessarily, but someone who's a little more like not so 'cause
Uptight.
as much as I love Rudy, there's a lot about her that's very like uptight, and I just like I want to play someone a little more goofy, I guess.
Mhm.
That'd be fun. I'm doing a campaign soon, and I'm playing a charlatan fighter, but like with really high charisma. So that's gonna be super fun.
Don't pull a me. Don't pull a me.
I don't think she would go paladin.
Don't accidentally start out with a high charisma fighter and realize, oh shit, religion. And launch into that.
It would be more fun to be sorcerer. But again, we'll see. I don't know.
So this is also one of those things. I know a good bit of DMs don't like people multi-classing into second.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be like you already had this magic kind of deal.
Yeah, so I probably won't multi-class, or if I multi-class, maybe barbarian or something. I don't know. We'll see. Right now, it's just a fighter, so
Yeah.
and that'll be fun too. So that'll
Oh
be
yeah.
good.
Be
Be
really
good.
interesting. What about
that-
you, Jalli?
Yeah.
Well, apparently this group really wants me to be barbarian for no reason.
Not
For no reason.
No, there's a reason. I've seen your anger when you use fire spells, and I would love to see that with a battle axe.
I do have some bloodlines. I do. I mean, usually you would hear me battle cry when I play tank on Overwatch.
I've witnessed the Jalli Reinhardt, and it is something to behold. It's a lot of fun.
Oh my God. I guess any role that's opposite of healing. I guess at this point.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because I like healing, and I did come into this group as a healer. And I just worked whatever I have. Technically, I just came in like, okay, they don't have a lot of healing. I'll go heal, which I don't mind. I don't mind at all. The only exception when I had to make a new character would be they have to have something food related to them. That's the only rule I have with new characters.
Jolly, I adore that.
That is
I
that is the
appreciate that
best
Jolly
common
has
thread.
you have a Jolly has a brand.
Yes.
He's going to stick
The
to
next
it.
one-
I appreciate
so-
it.
Maddie is sweets related. Would the next
Mhm.
character be savory then?
Most likely.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
It
I'm
kind
just
of
glad
makes
I
sense
caught
if
it.
you're going barbarian to be like meat. That makes sense, actually.
It
Literally
would
just-
be cute.
Yeah. Turns enemies that they've killed into beef jerky. Call it a day, man.
Oh my
Isn't that what Gale
God.
already does?
No, Gale does not turn enemies that he's killed into beef jerky. He takes their teeth if it was a semi-honorable fight.
Her name could be Flint. Because it's hot.
There you go. And this is how the character was born. Listening back like 3 years later, like, oh, that's where that came from. Right.
I was wondering where I got that name idea from.
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh my God.
Just cut right now in the video, whatever this is, in a couple years in the future, just cut to like the official artwork of Flint or whatever. I'm just kidding. Although that would be funny. But yeah, I think that'd be interesting. Plus, it's really one of the cool things about any sort of role-playing game is, especially as you start new adventures. I know I personally like playing something, especially if I've spent a lot of time in like one type of character's head or like one way of thinking's head. I like switching it up. Maybe not the complete opposite, but definitely like some stronger aspects of that character to be a little bit different. But yeah, as far as for me for next campaign, definitely something intelligence based. There have been a couple things. I know I still want to play a I still want to play a bard at some point, a bard or sorcerer, because again, with the way that I do things, I could very easily come up with the weirdest possible solution. As we've proven already as Gale with Gale's limited capability. But I probably will end up something intelligence based. I know some sort of like gun artificer has already been talked about. So keep an ear out for this campaign. But if you do hear about a second campaign going on in Dicefunctional, that'd be interesting. But yeah, I think that'd be fun to do.
Artificer would be cool as shit.
Actually, I've got something a related question. So I know, especially for you, Jace and Michele, since this is not your first game like it is mine and Jolly, your characters are not quite as similar to you as it is. I'm gonna assume me and Jolly are. What's the hardest thing to not bleed into your personality with them? I feel like I know Michelle's just because of the conversation we had earlier. But what characteristic of yours that you specifically didn't put into that character do you have trouble not projecting?
I'm a bossy person. Like, I'm really bossy. Like, super bossy. I know you guys know this. And Rudy can be like this sometimes. Like in Rosenvale, she was like this. But she was very specifically like that in Rosenvale. She tends to not be otherwise because that's just not her. She's a lot meeker than I am. If I were playing someone closer to me, I would be very much like involved in planning more. But since Rudy does not do that, she does not do that, I do not do that. So like last session, when everyone was discussing plans, Rudy was like, let's go, which was half me because Michele was terrified. I am not good at scary things, and I was very, very, very horror. It was very horror and paranoid. I hate Conor. Like it was like horror shit, but it was also like Rudy would be like, that would be her idea. Would be, let's go. I don't want to deal with. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do. Like that's literally her only contribution. Otherwise, she will go with whatever people say. But she doesn't like plan things like battle things because it's not who she is, and she doesn't. If it's anything to do with books, cool, I can handle that. Or research, I can handle that. But if it's like doing figuring plans, oh god, who just jumped in? Okay, who just
It's Conor.
is that Conor?
Yeah.
Is that you came because I
You can cut him in post. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I will.
Exactly.
What a jerk. Don't do that. Yeah, so Rudy is a lot weaker than I am. And I know I like talk a lot in game, but a lot of it's just Michele. And then like if you like actually like break it down what Rudy does, like with this, I don't know if you've noticed, but with like all the C stuff, she's been a lot quieter. So I'm gonna murder you.
I'm sure listen now.
I'm gonna murder you.
It's gonna have to all get cut.
I'm cutting you. Cutting you, Conor. Anyway, that's me.
There's a lot that I leave out of my personality for Gale. There is a lot. No, there will be a lot of times where I will just go quiet because again, when I'm playing a singular character, especially, I get like this. I just get into their brain space. There's a lot of stuff where I'm half listening as Gale, but like most of the stuff just it's not even going to register because it just wouldn't register for Gale. Gale's not that specifically concerned about specific moments. I tend to do a better job of I come up with a couple options. I usually have a couple different plans. When information's given, I do a very good job of retaining that information and then I immediately start putting puzzle pieces together. When I play and also usually when I'm playing a character, I'll have a notepad out. I'll be taking a lot of notes. I'll be, trying to remember things. However, with Gale, because Gale specifically works off of wisdom mostly, it's a lot of okay, how are we going to solve this problem that's in front of us? Not even going to think about any other problem and literally come up with one solution that feels like the most immediate and complete way to solve this particular problem, and I'm just going to go with that. I'm not even going to explain it. We're just going to do it because you know what? It'll end up perfectly. Why not? In my back of my head, I'm going, this is the dumbest thing I have ever done. This is going to go so bad, but you know what? Here we go.
Mercy used to get yelled at for being impulsive, like really badly. And yet Gale exists.
See, here's the thing is a lot of people look at it as impulsive, but it's not impulsive because it's not, okay, here's my idea, I'm going to do it. It's, okay, how do I solve it? He starts with the problem first instead of, I just want to do a thing. It's, all right, how can I solve this problem? All right, that'll work. Like, that will fully solve all of the different pieces of the problem, and I've done this kind of thing before. So, hey, this is what we'll do. Not just, oh, well, there's a button, push it. It's, what is the button connected to? Okay, the button doesn't look like it's connected to anything. Okay, then push it.
Hey. Mercy knows not to press buttons, but she will knock on doors.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Again, I will say, you did. I don't know. You did get yelled at a lot for being impulsive, but I mean, it hasn't happened recently, has it?
No, because Mercy's not been impulsive recently. The rest of you have been.
Yeah. Well,
Fucking Gale rubs up on all of you.
Again, I will not apologize for my actions in
Yeah.
Rosenvale. That was very different for Rudy.
Except for Maddie, but Maddie's just gotten more bloodlust recently, not impulsive.
I mean, that's Gale too. That's
Oh, that's Gale, but not the same kind of Gale.
just Gale in a different way.
Gail's just sitting here like,
Yeah.
we murder here in this house. So to flip the script here on the two that haven't played as much D&D before, for Jess and Jalli. So this is your first big like major campaign playing D&D. If you can remember or kind of recall, maybe not right at the beginning, but at least very early on, what were some of your expectations and maybe some things that you were nervous about, that have either maybe those expectations have been, maybe they've been, I'm trying to think of how best to word this. The expectations were, maybe they didn't come to fruition. Maybe it's a lot different than what you thought it would be. And maybe what's one thing that you were really, really nervous about that now you're completely comfortable with after having played D&D for at least both of you over a year at this point. Even for me and Jolly coming up with 2 years on this group later this year.
Jess, you want to go?
I was like, I have a really simple one, which is role playing. I've done a lot of writing because, again, I grew up doing a lot of writing because hand dumb can't draw, and when you want a creative outlet, writing is your best option. But writing individually and creating characters and developing stuff like that is very different than having a conversation where you don't control the other side of it. And so that stressed me out a lot when we first started playing. Because again, in case this hasn't come across in our over 2 years of knowing each other for some of us, I'm a control freak. I don't like not having control of a situation. so
Shocker.
sometimes role playing stressed me because I'm like, oh god, this could go really bad. Oh no. But I don't know. After a little bit, especially, I think it mostly got a lot easier, especially after Cabin 1, because for the most part, I'd met most of you face to face, and then of course it just got easier and easier over time. Still not really good at doing the cool shit, mainly because I don't know if you noticed this, but Mercy rolls really bad. So I try to do simple stuff like just jump over a hole, and I fall in instead because they're my mortal enemy. So my biggest thing, it's like, oh yeah, I can imagine these epic fights. I still don't do that because my dice rolls are so bad, and I end up thinking, oh, this could end really badly. Although I know logically, it's not a bad thing to have cool stuff go bad.
It's
Jess's
a lot of
next
fun.
character is going to be strictly save-based caster. Can't fuck that up.
You already missed that part of the conversation. I'm doing Whispers Bard. Shut up.
Strictly save-based caster.
AKA Rudy. Like, that's literally what Rudy is at this point.
That's what you've become, yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Jalli.
I guess the hardest part for me was, yeah, role playing. I could agree with that. And I think overall, Maddie's personality has changed quite a bit over time. I think I remember, like, in the beginning, she was very pacifist until now. So she's quite the opposite of what she is at the moment.
She's a little bit of a fireball now.
Well, yeah, but I was very worried the whole was it Radiant Soul thing, because I don't know when to ever use that ability at all, especially if it's a type of person who's like, hey, I don't know if I have this. But I like to think that the Radiant Soul is a very strong emotional part of her that kind of just triggers when something serious happens.
Mhm.
Something that's like it's a very emotional connection. Also, the fact that you're possibly seeing a different side to her that's not always so chipper. She's very depressing on the inside. Um, I was really hesitant to even talk about something so depressing, but I had like what is it? Probably 3 people to talk to. When I had to mention, it's like, yeah, I don't know if I should I even like bring up that Maddie is a bit depressed? Like, I'm not sure, but like the other 3 people I talked to is like, I mean, as I think you're going okay with this. They have to like check my writing and all that. About the reason why she's a bit hesitant on talking and the reason why she's always that sad and keep thoughts to herself kind of thing. So I'm just glad that they helped me throughout writing that kind of sad thoughts about her. It just came out of nowhere, which was funny to me. Like, what was it? What Connor and Kate had to talk to me during the session. I was like, no, I'm fine. This
Yeah,
nothing serious.
It was me and Kate. We heard it. We were like, fuck. Both of us immediately sent her messages like, "Are you okay? Is everything fine?"
I promise it's nothing serious. I swear. I don't have anything like serious going on. That's just Maddie. That's just her. Like I said, that was the reason why I was hesitant to talk about that stuff for her. She doesn't look like she would say that, but that's the whole point. She keeps that to herself. Until now, I think throughout the story, she's getting a lot more emotional, especially since her mom came back. And there's a lot of um what's the word? Like, I guess
Pent up stuff.
Angst.
angst, pent up anger, unresolved relationship.
Well, I'm so glad Mercy gets to be the outlet of most of her anger. It's really helpful for her to have an outlet that she doesn't want to light on fire some days. I think. I hope.
Can I say something?
No.
Yeah.
Shut up, Connor. You're not
No.
even supposed to be here, rude.
I wish.
No. Anyway, I was gonna say I'm going. Jalli, that I
Yeah.
really want to commend you, because like the last ever since I guess since your mom came back, basically, like Maddie has shown herself to be like super complex and like kind of awesome. Even though, yeah, okay, depression, but whatever. But like that she's so much like deeper than I think on the surface she seems to be. Because like you look at Maddie, you think she's this like angel, basically. She's this like glowing, happy. She seems so happy, and she's got this like big chef's outfit on, and she's like she's like a cream puff, you know? She's like a cream puff. But then you like realize, oh no, she's got shit going on in inside herself that she's kind of like hidden away, and now is sort of bubbling up because of like her mom stuff. And I kind of am loving it right now, honestly. I'm loving all this stuff out of you. It's fantastic to listen to.
Yeah. There was a discussion I had with a friend, which, by the way, was Lem, that real likes Buffin.
Jesus
By the way.
Christ.
Oh no. Oh no. Any limb conversation feels dangerous.
No, but she's the one that helped me through this angst, Maddie. So okay, don't look at me like that. But she told me, I was asking her, I don't know, should she be happy if Emily came back? I was like, well, that's up to you, but honestly, I think it depends if she has unresolved feelings towards her mom, especially if you didn't have a backstory. Maybe you can put that into fruition. I was like, oh, yeah, that can make sense. I can totally put that somewhere in her childhood trauma. Like, she didn't have her mom there, but she had her dad at least. But that just means she was a lonely child.
Yeah. It's I gotta agree with Michelle on that, Jolly. It's really cool to see that, and it, it it's cool to see, especially with you just hopping into the character and stuff like that. I know a lot of people struggle with, like, especially the first time that they're playing and creating a character like that, digging into something like that where it's, yeah, you came from a happy home and all was good, but it's like, nah, dude, like, even then, like, your journey's your own, and there's still, like, those huge issues of, like, you just had a parent that was just gone and there was no resolution to any of it. So you're just kind of sitting there like, oh crap, you know, what's going on? So I gotta agree. It's been a lot of fun. I know I'm excited for Gail and Maddie to actually have like a conversation about stuff, because it's
Oh
like
god.
that'll be from what we know about, Gail's past as well. There's some unique similarities in terms of like parents and losing parents and kind of being lost there. So it's
Everyone loses a mom. It's just, standard practice D&D.
I don't know what you're
except
talking about. My mom's still alive.
except
She's a bitch, but she's still alive.
she got yeeted. She got
She's still
yeeted
alive
out of
for
a
now.
window by a gale.
Hey, I need to double check one thing with you guys though. Did anybody do anything to Rowan's body?
Gail, did you take a tooth?
Yeah, Gail took teeth.
I think that's
That's
it.
it.
Oh God! Oh no! I
Okay.
hate it.
Wait,
Oh,
I'm
go, go,
worried now. Why did you say it like that?
You know what? You know what? That's
Revive him.
fine.
Do it.
I'm
We'll kill the bastard again.
it's fine. I'm okay with this.
Just like we'll kill Armir again, we'll kill him again.
Yep. Oh, Rosen fails.
It'll
Them
be
bitches, I
fun.
fucking hate them.
But, on my side, it's been a few weeks. You know what Mosey likes to do when something traumatic happens to someone? Check in on them after a few weeks, like she did with Deo when Cal left. So Maddie has that conversation to look forward to.
No, you guys don't know that yet.
Oh no, Mosey was there when she had the fight with the mom. She
No,
knows.
I forgot about that.
Mosey's the one who made her leave because she was getting so upset.
Not gonna lie, I was about to cry. Okay.
Oh, come on. You should have joined us in the crying on stream.
Yeah,
I've done it. Becca's done it.
I think
Come
the last time
on.
I did it was when
You've
Mercy
done
went
it?
over her backstory with you.
Yeah.
Join
You've
us
done
in the
it, like,
crying.
Jolly, join us.
No, I did cry when Emily came back. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I did.
Crying on stream is so fun though.
I have no issue with crying. I cry at everything and anything.
That's a
you-
mood.
If you leave me
Same.
alone,
Absolutely.
let me put it this way: one of the ways I rate a movie is if it made me cry or not, because I'll cry over anything. If it makes me cry, it gets a higher score. Because I'm that fucked up. I cried at both It movies. I don't know why. And they weren't fear tears; they were just tears.
Oh my god.
The
Speaking
things you learn when discussing this stuff.
Oh.
I'm not right in the head. We already know this. I'm on a lot of medicine.
But yeah, I mean, it's been really fun because I think, especially with you two, I mean, me kind of also because, like, yeah, I had been playing, but I had only been playing for like 5 months, and like most of it was sort of in a store environment.
I've
Like, I
only
had
been
a
playing for
couple of games.
5 months, but I'm in 9 games. It's not the same.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
I
what
know,
I'm
James.
saying is that at the time when we started this game, I was in one game. I had been in one game for like 2 months. That was the game I was with Conor, where I was in there for 2 months and I barely did anything, whatever. The other 2 games I was in were in like store environments, and one was just like Adventure League, and the other one was like in a super crowded store with like a bunch of other people. So like this game and the other game that I play on Saturdays were sort of my first super deep dive into like role playing stuff. So I feel like I've grown too. I mean, everyone's grown. Even, Jace, that you've done this for however long, you've grown probably somewhat as a player even through this game because you're constantly growing no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Because you're playing with different people. So you're changing and you're learning things from playing with different people. This game I've had, in terms of everything, I've had more things happen in terms of like character and like personal stuff and like group stuff and dynamics and things like that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. It really really is. It's cool that we're all getting to the point where we've been doing this for long enough that I know in terms of coming up with plans, like in character, and the way that combat has been flowing, because that's really a good way to see, how everything's coming together. Before, where it was just like, oh yeah, we're all gonna like singularly pick one enemy and just fight them one-on-one, when most of the characters are not good at that. To okay, how can we like move ourselves around and we're actually coordinating.
How can we
So
not bunch up in a tight square Connor can immediately fireball us in?
You guys
Yeah.
totally learned that lesson.
Okay, to be fair, the last time you did something like that to us, you surprised us with a dragon.
Yeah.
You can't blame all the squishy people who rolled low initiative, who are not expecting a fight.
The very first time I did that, you guys just saw the dragon and summarily didn't move out of the way.
No, I mean our last fight
Oh,
with
that's
the
different.
dragon. Yeah, no, we've learned. The problem is everyone else shit initiative.
that is the thing that happened. Yeah.
I mean, we all knew what was gonna happen, and I didn't have time to move because I knew it was happening. I just didn't have time to move, so I got knocked out.
If there's a dragon, we know breath attacks are coming.
It's true. Very, very true.
Um,
But hey,
and
we'll get better. It's all part of it. It's all
Well-
part of it.
real quick, in relation to D&D, Michele, you told me about a dream you had earlier.
I had the weirdest dream last night.
It's D&D
So-
related, I promise.
It is. So we were playing a session, but for some reason, this session was taking place in modern day. Like the like actual like we were playing as our characters, but it was modern day. And we got like an item, and the item was a Star Wars album, right? And then Jace just got really passive aggressive about wanting the item because we were all trying. It was so weird. I woke up like very confused. I've never woken up confused like that. I haven't woken up I've woken up sad, whatever. I haven't woken up confused like that in a while. I was just like, really, brain? Like that's what we're going with? Okay. Of all people in the group, Jace is the one to be passive aggressive because Jace is certainly not that person.
No.
I was like, I told Jess, I'm like, Jess, I had the weirdest dream. And I said it was weird.
The thing is, the really funny thing is to me, would Gail like Star Wars in modern time?
I don't know if Gail would.
Because, like, some of the characters it would make sense to like Star Wars. Like, let's see here. The person who carries a gun right now probably like sci-fi, so Ro. I wouldn't put it past Dea to like Star Wars, but Gail does not feel like a Star Wars person. He feels more like a Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see Gail liking Lord of the Rings. Gail would really like Harry Potter.
Ooh,
Gail
valid.
would really like Harry Potter.
I mean, so would Rudy.
Yeah.
The
Gail would
wizard
like
liking Harry
that.
Potter, not shocking.
Yeah. Gail would like see, Gail would be like really into a lot of like Tim Burton movies. It'd be a lot of like weird movies. He'd also watch Bill and Ted.
Ooh, good choice.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I just realized Gail would be a stoner.
not necessarily a stoner, but he would like.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
Gil likes the specifically like the weird, like really, really particularly weird movies that.
Oh, so like that movie with Elijah Wood where he's a dead body that someone keeps using. Not Elijah Wood. Fuck. I think it's Daniel Radcliffe. Actually,
It is Daniel Radcliffe. That's
Where
the one
peop-
where he's like the farting
It's
body.
Swiss Army Man. That's it. Swiss Army
Yeah.
Man.
Well, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, so it's like stuff like that and stuff that's filmed like really, really interestingly.
The whole
Yeah.
party bonds over John Wick.
Yeah. I feel like there's a little bit of a John Wick fan in all the people in the party.
Yeah, I think we'd all, that'd be the one thing they would all like find things to like really get into, like different aspects. Like obviously,
So I just had the image of Maddie watching Chopped and going, "Oh, you dumb bitch! There's a better combination for those foods."
sure.
Maddie walking in on Gail, watching diners, drive-ins, and dives, going, "Oh, that looks really good." And Maddie's going, I could make something that's 10 times better than that, Gail. Please.
Okay, whoa! I need to defend Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives right now. That show is god tier, and I will not accept the insult.
I'm not saying it as an insult. I'm saying is Maddie's going, I know that I could make that even better than what they have made.
Rudy's very much Rudy like watches like those dry Ken Burns documentaries, but she also watches like super trashy reality TV.
Ugh, she has the worst taste.
Yeah, she does. I love her. She does.
That's fair. That's fair.
But no, I
Jalli,
just
what do you think
imagine.
Maddie's favorite TV show would be or movie?
Oh god,
God,
St.
I
Elmo's
mean-
Fire. Sorry, I'll stop.
Hellboy.
Oh my god. I'm not entirely sure what she would be into other than, actually now I think about it, she would be the type that'd be into anime at this point when I look at her. she's an anime nerd for sure.
Her
I
favorite
mean-
anime is Fire Force. I'm calling
Ooh,
it now.
Fire Force is so good though.
Mhm.
That's valid.
Oh my god. I think she wouldn't tell anyone that she'd probably like horror, but she doesn't want to say that out loud.
No. What's the horror guy that does This Is My Hole? With the
Oh god. Oh, you mean that comic?
Yeah, that would be like her favorite thing. Horror and anime mixed.
It's Junji Ito comic.
That's it.
Yeah, she
For
would.
Michele, who I'm sure is very confused, it is a very infamous horror comic. That is very much a body horror.
Oh no, not into that.
But it's probably one of the most infamous things in the anime community.
Oh yeah.
That'd be interesting to see. That'd be a lot of fun. I think one of these days we might have to delve into more exploring like a modern AU and like what the characters would
Modern
We'll
get
have,
into.
we'll have-
Oh god, it would be really fun to do a one shot with that.
we need to
Like our
talk to our.
spies. He's not here because he walked away. Like he's in here, but he's not here.
We probably at some point need to talk to the college AU we wrote. But that's fine.
I
with the
would
podcast.
love to do like same shit. Everyone has the same stats, same powers, everything, but just modernized in a like we're not an adventuring group, we're a club or whatever.
Stranger
just
Things.
Do like a one shot with that. Because that would be fun as shit.
That's potentially giving Maddie too much power because she could still bring people back from the dead in a modern time.
Mhm.
That's that's a little bit weird.
You know. No one knows that we have the magic powers. The only problem is you have the like monstrous, like not monstrous, but like you have the two tieflings and the
The Fearbolg.
Fearbolg. Like everyone else is pretty okay. But like the two tieflings and the Fearbolg are like,
Who would
Can
it
I-
would get real?
Can I just say I love how y'all be so overprotective of her?
of Maddie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. 1, she is the kindest of all of us.
Mm-hmm.
2, technically she is, I think, our moral backbone. At least that's how Jace and I have discussed it a couple times. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
that backbone may be in Eclair, but she's still the moral backbone for the group. In the sense of she is our emotional core. Everyone cares about Maddie.
You fuck with Maddie, you fuck with the whole team.
Oh
If
my
Maddie
God.
dies, this group is going to get really hostile really quickly.
Oh my God.
Because it's like, oh, someone killed her and we can't revive her anymore? Hey, Gail, have you ever wanted to meet Pharasma face to face?
Oh my God.
To be fair,
Oh,
Gale would
God, you-
already be on
y'all-
his way to fuck somebody up.
I wish I knew what this conversation was fully about, but I came back to the best part of it.
What? Gail, have you ever
So-
wanted...
Well, I mean, so the resurrection ritual, both in my game and in Mercer's, is intended to be like, okay, this is going to go well. If it fails, then you can't bring them back. It doesn't mean that they're gone. It means you couldn't bring them back with the ritual. You
Again,
can go on a big quest to try and bring it back through more extraneous means.
Damn.
all I'm hearing is Conor telling us we're allowed to go kick Pharasma's ass if she takes Maddie.
I'm going to be completely honest with y'all right now. Fighting a god at your level is a very bad idea.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but
But
the thing
notice
is,
how he said at your level. So we just gotta get
Oh,
stronger.
oh yeah,
There
that
you
would be
go.
the party's entire driving force of, yeah, we're not strong enough now, but we'll bring Maddie back. Don't you worry.
Why you all saying
The best way I'll put it is like this. At level 20, you guys in theory could fight a god, but I will kick the living shit out of you.
Oh my God.
Bring it. Mercy didn't expect to make it to 25, and she turns 25 in 4 days.
I didn't expect to live Maddie this long, but let's go.
Mercy, I expect to die in battle or kill myself by this point. I got no reason to live.
Yeah, I mean, y'all are basically at the level point, and also like story wise too. You guys are at the point where like things are gonna get a lot more dangerous.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Fights are gonna get worse.
well, considering what we're gonna be, what we have waiting for us at some point during the sea adventure, yes, I expect things to get worse.
I
It'll
can't
be a lot
believe
of
Down
fun.
we're
3
gonna.
times. 3 times.
I
Yep.
can't believe Gail's gonna die.
Yeah, probably.
Stop talking about death.
I'm not aiming for Gale.
Ah,
Oh, man.
I can't
Oh.
believe Gail's gonna die.
yeah.
Stop
Maybe.
killing. No.
God, that would be so
Really,
bad for Maddie.
my only main ones are just not Gale or Rudy right now.
We've already had
Yeah.
our turn.
I have a hit list, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, Connor, Mercy's terrified to die because she thinks her dad can resurrect her if they don't.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know if Mercy's ever shared that. That's part of the reason why she hasn't killed herself.
Oh,
Legitimately. Because
Oh,
she's like, if I'm alive, Dad can still do whatever the fuck he's doing. But if I die, he could take me back forcibly.
Jesus Christ.
So my only solution is to run away and not be found.
God.
That's her entire goal. And that got
Oh,
fucked up in art
Fun
class.
D&D.
Okay.
It's alright. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll all be fine. But
All I-
that's the fun part of D&D is we get to figure out all of those stories as we go. But
And we get to
That-
talk about our modern AU that we're gonna have eventually.
No,
Too
Well,
bad.
we will-
Why?
You already missed that conversation. It's happening.
I did hear part of it.
Why, Connor? Let us have fun.
I don't want one.
Well, regardless, we'll have to discuss that in another episode. That's going to do it all for this episode of Dicefunction Discussion. Thank you guys for joining in, and thank you all of you for listening. We greatly appreciate it. If you liked it, please don't forget to rate and don't forget to subscribe for more content. We'll have more of these discussions coming to you guys as we go along. And don't forget, you can always catch the episodes live as we're playing them Saturdays, 4 o'clock Eastern time over at twitch.tv/dicefunctional. Thank you again, everyone, and we will catch you all in the next episode.
Da 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 da.
No.
Bye bye.
Da 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 da.
No.
Bye, guys.